So Valve announced the Steam Machine, or the name I like that everyone's been calling it more, the Game Box, and it seems like it's going to be a very interesting piece of tech that's going to compete with modern consoles. The price is still up in the air, and I have a feeling it's going to be more expensive than most people think it's going to be. But in this video, I wanted to dive back into SteamOS. Yes, it's not like I haven't done it before, but one thing I haven't done on this channel is take a mini PC, more specifically a little computer like this, and install official SteamOS on it. We've done Bazite, we've done other somewhat similar SteamOS Linux distros, but I've yet to just take one of these that you could buy off the shelf, plug in a flash drive, install SteamOS, and see if it makes sense as a game box or Steam machine perhaps, maybe for those who don't want to wait for the official release, or if you're like me and you think it's going to be really expensive and unattainable. Well, let's actually experiment in today's video after a word from today's sponsor.
If you're planning out your next build, love hunting deals, or just want to browse the latest gear, you should check out today's video sponsor, Micro Center. Micro Center is easily our favorite store to shop at for anything PC gaming related, and it's hard not to love it when they constantly have insane deals and an expansive catalog of products. Be sure to check out their website regularly through November, as they're running multiple sales events that are definitely worth checking out. And it's not just hype. Micro Center was named by PC Mag as the top tech retailer in the US in their Reader's Choice Awards. That means when you walk into a Micro Center shop online, you're dealing with a retailer that's been vetted by serious tech users and reviewers. Micro Center also just opened a brand new store in Phoenix, Arizona. We just visited their new location, and there's tons of grand opening deals and other offers only available in store. So be sure to check it out if you're nearby. And if you love staying on top of tech news, Micro Center News is full of build guides, hardware launches, maker projects, and how-tos. So whether you're in Phoenix and ready to swing by for the grand opening, or you're watching from home and refreshing the website for November deals, be sure to check out Micro Center today and save big. Big thanks again to Micro Center for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to it.
So if you guys can't tell, this is another solo Matt video. Jackson currently is getting his wisdom teeth removed, and with his permission, there'd be a very great picture of him right here that he spammed in our Slack channels after it happened. So anyway, in this video, we're gonna be focusing on this Geekom A9 Max mini PC. We actually did a sponsor video for it. They're not sponsoring this video. This actually was just sitting up front at PC Bros, our PC selling business, when I was kind of brainstorming ideas of projects to work on while Jackson was gone. And I went up front and just grabbed this thing and thought, hey, what would it be like if SteamOS was on this? And at a price point of around $1,000 for this mini PC with a Ryzen AI chip, I think it's an interesting candidate because it has integrated graphics that are way better than most older mini PCs. There's a lot of them on the market that have really slow Ryzen CPUs from 2 or 3 generations ago. The 890M graphics on this, while be it they are RDNA like 3.5, they're not super modern, especially compared to the Halo Strix APUs that are on the market. It is still a good amount better than other options and can be decent for 1080p gaming and esports titles. Now, is it anywhere close to the projected RX 7600 and Ryzen 5 7600 that Valve's going to be selling? No, but this is a cool thing you can do right now. You could buy this thing or any cheaper option, download the latest ISO of SteamOS, plug it in, install it, and just game on it like a Steam box and don't have to spend money on, well, buying a console directly from Valve, which, you know, sounds kind of cool and sounds more DIY for PC gamers. We'll go over some of the key specs that you should know about this mini PC before we dive into how we actually are going to get the ISO ready to go, and then hopefully we have no issues, because that just always happens with these videos. No issues at all. So this little mini PC has a Ryzen AI 9 HX370 with 12 cores and 24 threads. As mentioned, the Radeon 890M graphics, 32 gigs of DDR5 memory, along with a 2TB Gen 4 NVMe SSD. And at $1,000, I mean, it's a little pricey, but in our video when we tested this thing in Windows, it was very capable of doing some gaming, especially esports titles at decent FPS. It does fall behind in higher end titles, but those 890M graphics are no slouch. They do a pretty decent job. And that's why I think, at least for this video, this is a cool PC to test in SteamOS because one, again, it's AMD based. You're really gonna want something AMD based for this to work. And it's not as extremely expensive as those super high-end APU graphics that you get in those mini workstations. So what we're gonna do first is go and download a new ISO of the SteamOS recovery image, because I did hear that Steam officially released a new version that supports modern AMD GPUs, which I think is pretty cool. Doesn't really matter with this one. We could probably use the old one, but if you guys haven't seen how this process works, I'll show you guys how to do that. Let's go into the voiceover room. All right, guys, to get SteamOS installed on your PC, if you're following along at home or if you're just watching, hello, thanks for watching, you're gonna need a flash drive. This right here, it's a little Micro Center flash drive that I've been using a lot for these. Let me see if I can get to focus. There it is, beautiful. I'll leave a link to these down below. You can get one of these if you want. Be sure to plug in the flash drive. You're gonna need a bootable USB creation tool like Rufus, which, whoa, let's get this out of the way for now. See, that one's empty, as you guys can tell. But then you're also gonna download the image from Steam. So what you're gonna do is go to the URL down below, or basically look up SteamOS ISO. you'll find the installation repair section. You'll click here to download the image. It'll take you to this section right here, and you download SteamOS deck image, and we're gonna let this download. It's about 2.9 gigs. Again, this is the newest version. I already have a USB made, and I could just use that one for this mini PC, but just to avoid any potential issues, we're gonna get the newest version and we're gonna install it on our flash drive. Now for this, I do recommend Rufus, which I think I already have Rufus downloaded. Did I just say that? So, and here's Rufus while this is downloading in the background. This will basically take your flash drive, which it already detected my USB flash drive. Make sure you select your flash drive, by the way. I think it's only gonna let me do that, so that's fine. And then once we get this download going, we're gonna throw this in here, hit start, and then we're gonna make our bootable USB, which should work just fine on our little mini PC, because some of the requirements are, it needs an NVMe drive. At least if I last remember right, it needs an NVMe drive. That's why some of the budget systems we built that use 2.5-inch drives, we weren't able to get SteamOS to work without some sort of workaround. You need some sort of NVMe drive. It needs to almost look like a handheld and how a handheld would operate to make this work. So you need an NVMe drive, you need an AMD CPU and an AMD GPU, and then it should just work fine. There are some people who've gotten to work in other scenarios, but for just the average person at home, if you're shopping for a mini PC to build your own Gabe box, then you most certainly want to make sure you have these requirements just to make sure it's smooth sailing and you have no problems. All right, so we're finishing up the download right now. Looks like it is writing.
A few moments later.
All right, that took a little while, but now from here, we're going to basically drag, here it is, boop, to here. And as you guys can see, the boot selection is our Steam Deck repair image right here. We are going to go to this flash drive. We're going to hit start. We're gonna hit OK, and now it's going to create our bootable USB. It's gonna take a little bit, especially for me because I'm in a PC with an adapter on a USB 3. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get that set up, and then as long as we have no issues, which we shouldn't have any issues, we'll see here just in a second if it starts writing. We should, there we go, it's slowly writing, but depending on your system, it can be way faster or slower than mine. So we'll let that write to the image, and then we'll be able to install this on our mini PC. So remember that whole thing about this being easy?
No issues at all.
Of course it wasn't easy. It's SteamOS and me. It's probably more me. But let's show you guys what's going on here. So here's the Geekom mini PC. We have our flash drive installed. I finally figured out what the BIOS key was. It is delete. And for some reason, this keyboard, by the way, was gaslighting me because I was hitting delete, but it wasn't registering. This one is for whatever reason. Cool, whatever. So we're in the BIOS. And just to make sure, the one thing that is recommended is disabling secure boot. Is disabled. There's really nothing else I can change in here besides the boot priority and everything, which is fine. As you see here, I changed it to the partition number 2 currently. Let me see, can I change it to a different partition? So it looks like it's only letting me pick partition 2. Let me see if I can see USB key priorities. Okay, let's try changing this. Maybe I fixed this. So we want to use partition number 1, and now that is the main boot priority. We're gonna hit save and exit. I will laugh if this just works because I was just fiddling with this off camera and it wasn't working. The biggest thing that's happening is it's hitting this splash screen and then it's not going anywhere. The flash drive isn't showing any activity LEDs. It's just kind of sitting here and not doing anything, which gives me some alarm that this may just not work on this mini PC. But I've seen people like Austin Evans install this on like an old iMac. So like, I'm gonna leave this for a second and then I'm gonna try partition number 2. And then make sure there's nothing else that's stopping me from booting into it. But based on how this flash drive is showing no activity, we're not even reading the flash drive right now. I think we're stuck in purgatory here. Let's try disabling fast boot. What is quiet boot? I have no idea what that means. Maybe it just won't make a boot noise. Okay, all right. Let's try disabling that first. Negative. All right, we're trying partition number 2 again to see if partition 2 does anything different. And just for sanity's sake, I do have my old one that I made. Try to mess up the USB. We'll try this one real quick, but you know what might come to the rescue? Bazite. Well, I don't know what's going on here. I'll be totally honest with you. I'm gonna see if Bazite works, which again, I know it's kind of cheating. It's not official SteamOS. I apologize, but for my sake, I feel like Bazite kind of does the job and it works fine, and it's worked better for me, honestly, in installs. You at home might have better luck getting SteamOS to work on your device, but if it doesn't work, Bazite is the better solution to SteamOS that doesn't seem to work and is in beta and may not actually officially work. So, see this little guy right here? Well, you can kind of see it. Bazite USB. I bet if I plug this thing up, it's just gonna boot to it. You've never let me down before, and you're not gonna let me down today, baby. Is it going? I need to get to the Bazite install screen. Oh goodness, we're cooking. We're cooking, boys. Good signs. All right, is this cheating? Kinda. But y'all can yell at me in the comments down below. Bazite's never let me down, so we're running with Bazite, baby. All right, let's select this drive. We're gonna go ahead and automatically clean up, hit done. All right, so we're deleting all reclaimed space, user creation, gaming, and install. There's no way this fails. All right, guys, we are now booting in. It looks like the install was successful, but we won't really know for sure until we fully get in here. As long as the Steam logo pops up, that is normally a good sign. Hey, the Bazite logo. We're in, baby. All right, I'm gonna get everything set up and then we'll do a little tour for those who have not seen this before on the mini PC. All right, guys, well, it's not exactly SteamOS, but it's pretty dang close. Welcome to Bazite on this little mini Geekom PC. Now, everything seems to be working just fine. Let's go into settings real quick to verify that we have all our working specs. We're fully up to date. We're on Bazite 41. Is the stable edition. It currently shows we have our 890M graphics with the Ryzen AI chip. Working great, drivers showing up just fine, all 12 cores and 24 threads. The RAM is at 27 gigs because 4 is being allocated to the GPU, and hey, that's looking pretty dang good. Now I did install a handful of games, and if you haven't seen this before, this is very similar to like the Steam Deck or the potential Steam Machine interface, where it's kind of like a console. You can go to your library. There's SteamOS compatible games, which are all games that have been basically verified to work on Steam Deck, so they'll work fine on this. Realistically, you could probably install a bunch of different games like this if you want to, and it would probably work just the same. But some games have an anti-cheat or a kernel level anti-cheat that may not work. So I installed a couple of games. We got Cyberpunk to really test the AAA titles. We're gonna do Skyrim, we got Half-Life 2, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Peak, and some other fun games that will work fine. We're just gonna see what this 890M graphics can do when we get into game. Now, we want to get an overlay going as well. If you hit the start button plus A, it opens up this quick menu here, which allows you to go down to advanced view and turn on a performance overlay. So we'll go ahead and turn on the performance overlay and disable our frame rate limit, because currently it will be locked to the refresh rate of your display, which I think is fine if you're using this on a TV, but if you're just actually want to get the maximum performance, we're gonna disable that. Let's go ahead and try a game. All right, guys, we are kicking things off in Cyberpunk, and we'll say this FPS is looking pretty dang good. Now, we are running low settings right now with the FSR set to balanced at 1080p, which, as I'm seeing here, we might actually have more wiggle room than that if we want to, because right now, getting about 89 FPS. This is definitely playable. Integrated graphics doing a good job. Now again, this PC is expensive. 890M graphics will probably be a little bit worse. I would say that they would be a bit worse than something like the RX 7600 level GPU that is rumored to be in the Steam machine. And that was playing at 4K. So 4K 60 with some upscaling, yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. But this little guy right here is fun because these mini PCs go on sale a lot. And if you're wanting to do a DIY setup yourself, you could get something like this or a lesser version with these 890M graphics and get a 60 FPS couch experience. Again, we're running 1080p. You will be needing to do some heavy upscaling if you're gonna run at any higher resolutions, even some frame gen, but it's just cool to see how this just works. Now I'm going to start a battle here, and you see the best part is I had this controller here. I can also just go keyboard and mouse. Just like that, boom. We are now running keyboard and mouse and maintaining good FPS. And before the cops come running at me, because I know they will, let's mess with some settings. So let's go up to medium, and we'll set this also to balanced and see if we can run medium at 60 FPS. That we can. That we can, ladies and gentlemen. Rating 60 FPS still. Not too bad, does not look too bad at all, actually. And Cyberpunk, again, is the more demanding of the games on this little mini PC, and we're doing a good job. We're pulling about 53 watts on the GPU, so we are getting a lot out of this little PC, but it's the A9 Max. It's a pretty high-performing mini PC. Just for the fun of it, too, let's just see what happens if we go to high settings. We'll do high settings, quality, super resolution. Now, this is a little bit harder to run. We're getting about 40 or so FPS at 1080p. They do have the option for frame gen, but it will require me to do a restart to do it, and if frame gen work properly, you should be getting close to 80 FPS on higher details 1080p, but I think the sweet spot is just running medium settings, 1080p with some FSR upscaling. You can go 1440p low settings with some upscaling and probably get close to 60 FPS, but hey, for this little mini PC, again, the price is high on this. We're looking at $1,000 for this little thing right now. It's probably not worth the price performance, but it is cool to see these 890M graphics in a SteamOS-like operating system performing very well. Let's move on to some other games. All right, guys, now we're in Spider-Man Miles Morales. I will say Spider-Man 2 probably would struggle a little bit on this iGPU, so I decided to go with the slightly older version, Miles Morales, which is the same as the Amazing Spider-Man version you can get as well. 1080p, FSR set to balanced, and we're on medium settings, and we are getting 60 FPS. I kind of forget how slow the movement is in this one compared to the other Spider-Man games, but these are still fun games that you could pick up during like a sale, play this on the couch. Similar to a console experience, I will say PS5 will definitely look better than this if you're talking about price or performance, but in terms of the DIY route, building yourself one of these, I just love seeing these iGPUs being able to perform the way they are. It's audibly a little loud. You can definitely hear it, but in this scenario, or like a living room setup behind a TV, because you do have the mounting options to do that, this is a cool little console replacement idea, and it just depends on how much you're looking to spend on a mini PC or what the availability is like. You can look on the used market for something like this. As A9M graphics in these PCs become older and there's new technology that's pushed, hopefully the Strix Halo APUs are pushed much more, you may be able to snag one of these for a lot cheaper, but it's just cool that you can right now build your own Steam machine and get 60 FPS. This ain't too bad. See if there's anything else we want to mess with here. Just for the fun of it, if we want to go a little high refresh rate, let's do some frame gen. Will this just work? It will. And look at that. Now we're getting 100 FPS, dips down into the 90s at times. But if you were running one of those like higher refresh rate displays, you want to cash in on a few more FPS, I wouldn't do it in a multiplayer game, but single player games, you could definitely do that and get more like 90 to 100 FPS. And we're fully utilizing that GPU. That's the cool part. This was plug and play, no drivers required. It just worked, and we're not having any issues here, so that's pretty cool. Got him. Take that. Oh, I didn't survive. I was probably destined for that anyways. Hey, this is a good time for me to show you, you know what? Let's say you're done with the game and you want to swap. Boom, home, just like that. And then we can close out a game and go to another one. All right, guys, we're in another indie title. This is Peak, which is a game that I will say has probably lost a bit of its popularity, but it's still a fun game that you can play on your couch with a controller. And we're currently running the following settings: 1080p, medium, low, across the board. You can adjust the render distance if you want to, because I mean, we're getting 100 FPS. Now, this is one of those games where 1440p is on the table as well if you want to run some higher resolution, because again, it's not a super demanding game, and it'll just give you a much smoother experience. You can get 1440p 60 FPS, no problems. And I'm just gonna climb here. I'm gonna show you guys my climbing skills. And the goal is you just climb to the mountaintop, and then it just keeps changing the world every day, basically. So it's running really good on this little A9 Max mini PC, not too bad. But I think that pretty much wraps up this quick little video showing you guys actually installing a SteamOS-like operating system on a PC like this. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up, shall we? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, this is not official SteamOS. For whatever reason, this Geekom PC just did not like booting into normal SteamOS. I don't really know why. You guys could let me know in the comments down below what I may have missed, because I probably missed something, but in the sake of the video and just showing proof of concept, Bazite basically does the same thing, and I was able to install it on this little Geekom PC, and it's working really dang good. I mean, look at this small PC. Again, price performance wise, that's not what we're going for in this video. It's more of a proof of concept that you can get your mini PC, whether it's a Geekom one that you spent a good amount of money on, or a more budget option and you just want to play lower end titles. You can certainly do that and install it on this. Very simple. So let me know down below. Are you considering making your own Gabe machine? Gabe box? Not Gabe machine, a Gabe box or a Steam machine before the one actually comes out, and maybe have one as a living room setup? We've been doing this for a while here on the channel before it was announced, but because the popularity has kind of come back on this because of the announcement of the Steam machine, I figured I'd make this little video for you guys to show you that you can make your own right now if you want to. So as always, if you guys enjoyed today's video and you buy anything or any downloads or anything from today's video, links in the description down below. There are affiliate links and they will help us out. And if you guys want to see us on some other channels, whether it's our side channel Toasty DIY or Toasty Clips that we live stream to, or twitch.tv/ToastyBros, all three of these will be linked down below. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Now, this PC is for sale at PCBros.tech, and as long as I don't forget, because you never know if I'll forget, this is going to have Windows back on it, because our average client is just going to want Windows. But if you buy one of these mini PCs, you can install whatever you want on it, and that's the beauty of PC Bros. Or you could buy a desktop PC, a laptop, whatever you want. PC Bros got you covered. Use code ToastyBros on checkout. You will save 3% on your next purchase. See you guys later. Goodbye.